Welcome back, everybody, on a picture-perfect Thursday. If you like 20 degrees below zero, or if you're a penguin or something like that, but it looks pretty outside. Looked pretty inside. The little Ralph last night in Thief River Falls, if you're a Moorhead Spud hockey fan. Last night, Moorhead knocked off Roseau 6-1 in the Section 8 AA championship game that'll send Moorhead back to the state hockey tournament for the second time in 3 years. Some sweet redemption for a group of players last year that were bitterly disappointed in the section championship game. We got a couple of guests to join us this morning, which is pretty pumped. Head coach Ryan Kraft and senior goalie Taylor Cresson join us on the show this morning after a late night last night. We'll start. Coach, did you get any sleep? You told me you were in bed. Did you even fall asleep, though, after the excitement of what happened last night?
Honestly, it's almost like a big weight's been lifted off the shoulders. Just as much relief as it is happiness and excitement, and yeah, but at the same time, it was such a great night. It was hard to fall asleep last night.
Taylor, I'll ask you the same question. The emotion of last year compared to what happened last night. Can you compare and contrast that?
I think it was the opposite end of the spectrum, obviously. I think last year was so much disappointment and like almost anger and sadness. And this year it was, I don't even know if there's words to put in that I could say to express.
Complete vindication.
Yeah.
The third period, Taylor, the third period starts. You guys have the dreaded 2-goal lead. As a goalie, what's going through your mind? I know you're not thinking about last year, but just tell me, knowing what the score is and being a goaltender, what's your mindset when the third period starts?
I think my mindset is always like, no matter the score, it's just, I try to take it shot by shot. I try not to look into the future and just stay present and in the moment. And I think, I try not to think about outcomes or like what the score is or anything like that. And I think that's always helped me. But I think it was definitely, honestly, going into it though, I didn't really think about what the score was. I think it was just doing my job for the team shot by shot.
Ryan, as a coach, I'm sure you thought what the score was, the dreaded 2-goal lead in hockey. What did you tell the team going out for the third period?
Well, we talked about the elephant in the room. Everybody's thinking of it. Everybody's, got it in the back of their mind. Like it's the same scenario as it was last year. And, we just said we have to keep the foot on the gas. We have to make sure we keep playing Spud girls hockey. Last year, that wasn't the case. We just kind of assumed that we were going to coast through the third period and win. And that couldn't happen last night. And the girls did a phenomenal job of staying focused, sticking to the game plan, and ultimately, we got the result that we did.
Taylor, when the final seconds are going down, tell me what we were thinking about when the clock hit 0 last night.
Going back to St. Paul, my senior year. No, it was such a great feeling, and I think to be able to put up a number like 6-1 against them was amazing. That was exactly what I could have asked for. And I was so excited. And I got to hug my teammate, Kendall Lund, who played a great game. And I was extremely proud of my whole entire team. I
have to ask you, as a player, were you hoping it was Roseau you're going to play? I mean, you could say it now. Were you guys was like, we want them again to go to state?
Yeah, I personally really wanted it just because I wanted that revenge and I wanted that chip that we had going in there. And I think even we lost in overtime up in Roseau this year, and I think that gave us even more of an edge. And I was really excited to hear that we were playing Roseau.
Ryan, is this one sweeter than 2 years ago?
Same but different. Obviously, it feels a little bit better because of what happened last year. But at the same time, I mean, you feel so happy for the seniors. You feel so happy for the girls that put in all the time and effort and energy all season long. And obviously, you're happy for your coaching staff because there's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes that, we have daily discussions on players, on team concepts, on what can we do to get better. So, everybody involved, this is just a very, very happy moment in Spud girls hockey.
Taylor, being an upperclassman this last go around, I mean, how much pressure did you have going in? You put on yourself saying that we got to do it this year. This is it. This is it for me. Yeah,
I think, I would call myself like the mom of the team. I've been on the team the longest, 5 years.
She is.
I definitely tried to take on that leadership role having the most experience to try to lead my team in the best way possible. And I think having my fellow seniors, there's 12 of us, so it was really easy to have senior leadership, and we have a lot of experience. We're definitely an older team, and I think having that experience on our team definitely benefited us. And the weight that I did put on myself, it was probably a lot, but I think, I've worked my whole career for it, and I think that this is what I've been preparing for was my senior season.
I mean, goalie is such a unique spot in all sports because everyone will remember one way or the other. How did you handle that from last year to this year? That pressure, the weight on that.
You know, I would say I'm my hardest critic. I would say I'm the hardest on myself, and I think that's just the competitor in me. But I think my mindset from this year to last year has changed a little bit, just knowing like all I got to do is play my best to keep my team in the game and give my team an opportunity to win. It doesn't matter what the score is by the end of the game. All that matters is that I gave my team an opportunity to win and that I competed my hardest.
Ryan, I know I talked to you about this a couple years ago, and it's even for Taylor as well, that this program isn't far removed from only winning 2 games in a whole season. Now you're going to state for the second time in 3 years. I know this was the vision, but has it happened faster than you thought of we can be good in a short amount of time?
It certainly was the hope. The expectation obviously kind of dictated itself because, I've been really hard on the girls. I've challenged them to be their best every day, and to their credit, they've responded in every way possible that a coach could want them to respond. And I'm super proud. I'm humbled. I'm very proud of where this program has gone in the last 6 years, but a lot of that credit is due to the effort and commitment that the girls have put in.
Okay, Taylor, so now you know you're going. The pairings are going to come out this weekend. Is there anybody you're hoping for, or it doesn't matter next week?
Honestly, I don't think it matters. I think no matter who we play, I think we got a chip on our shoulder and we're coming down to win the first game at the X.
That bus trip down, now to do it after what happened last year, I mean, and no one, like you said, it's your last time. How much more you'll appreciate this than maybe a couple years ago?
Yeah, I think just like being able to soak it all up and realize like this is my last week of high school hockey, and like this is my last week with all my best friends playing on a team, and like with the coaching staff that I love so much. I think it's everything to be able to like soak up the moment and know that like the end is coming, but that I'll be able to enjoy it because we're down in St. Paul.
I got to ask them, what's the first few hours of school been like today?
I walked into lift this morning and got a big round of applause by our weightlifting coach and my whole lifting class, so that was nice.
Has goalie always been the spot, or did you play another position on the ice? Or you said, this is where I always want to play?
No, goalie's always been the spot. My dad bought me a pink CCM goalie stick, and from there on out,
it takes a different. Ryan, you've been around the sport. It takes a different breed to be a goalie. What is it about it that it's different than other players in other sports too?
I think like, yes, like hockey's a team sport, but the aspect of like playing a goalie is somewhat isolated. You're kind of isolated from the team, and that's a really hard thing, I think. But, growing up playing it, it's always been like mindset is so much of a huge thing for a goalie because you're so isolated. And I think that working on my mental game has been just as important as working on my physical game. And that's, I think, something that's really been beneficial to me.
Ryan, what do you find the best traits in a goalie? What stands out? What does Taylor have that you say we got to have this to be outside of a short memory? What's a good trait for a goaltender?
I mean, I don't even know where to start with this girl. She's answered the call on every challenge. She's super athletic. She's super competitive. She's got the mental game to go along with her physical attributes. She's a Division I goalie, and I just believe it's a matter of time before that opportunity presents itself. And I got to believe that God has a plan for her, and when that plan arises, she's going to be ready to the challenge because of the adversity and the hardships that she's endured. She came into the season with the weight of the world on her shoulders because she's been, she's wanted to be a Division I goalie since she came to us in 8th grade, and to have her career go the way that it's gone has been, number one, an enjoyment to watch. And number two, it's just it's one of those things that like I said, I have to believe that her opportunity at the next level is coming. And when it does, she's going to be ready.
Taylor, when coach says that, what goes through your mind that he believes you're a Division I goalie?
I think it means the world. I think he's been someone who's been there for every single like high and every single low, and who's gotten to see it all. So having him truly believe that that's like my potential is an amazing feeling, and knowing that like that truly is where I can end up.
Couple minutes left here with each of you. I really appreciate the time. Taylor, I want to go back to something I asked Coach about getting in girls hockey, because when you started, Spuds weren't really good. Were you excited to join hockey, or was it something that, hey, we can be better? What was the mindset about Moorhead girls hockey even 5 years ago when you were in 8th grade?
I think it all started of like the new era. That's kind of what we started calling it, is like trying to change the script of what Moorhead girls hockey was viewed as. It was kind of viewed as like a rec sport at the time. It wasn't viewed as a competitive sport. We weren't viewed as a competitive team. And I think the group coming up and the few levels above us, and obviously the group below us, and everyone that's been involved in these few runs to state and these section finals, we all were in agreement of like, we are going to change like I guess the label behind Moorhead girls hockey, and we are going to change how people see us, and we're going to become a competitive team because that's what we're capable of. We've all played on competitive teams throughout youth hockey, and I feel like we all wanted to carry it through the high school level and make it back to the X.
Does the team get the day off, Ryan, or is it back on the ice today?
I think they've earned it. I think they've earned it. Yeah.
For people that don't know, give us the lowdown now of what happens between now this weekend to figure out who the 8 teams are and when you're going to be playing. Next Thursday is when you're going to play.
You want to take this one, or you want me to?
Sure. So all the section finals will be wrapped up either tonight or tomorrow night, and then Saturday morning we'll have the draws for seeding, and we'll know everything by Saturday afternoon.
Ryan, do you get to vote in that? Is that a coach's vote for the seeds?
It is. Yeah, you vote for everybody but your own team.
Okay.
And you place them 1 through 7. They take out the high, they take out the low, and then you've got a cumulative average of the remaining 5 scores, and that's where the seeds come from. So, new thing this year, they're seeding them 1 through 8.
Yeah.
Rather than 1 through 5 with the 3 random draws. So we'll get a really good idea of where we stand with the rest of the teams once these section finals are over and once those seedings come out.
I'll say it. I thought that hosed you a couple years ago, I think, on the random draw, right? I mean, that's pretty accurate.
I don't know.
I'll say it.
Maybe not. A couple years ago, I think a lot of nerves played into that against Gentry Academy. I think we had a lot of girls that were, still really young, still really inexperienced. And that draws out sometimes the worst in people because it's difficult to handle. It's difficult to work through. But we obviously bounced back really well and played an outstanding consolation semifinal and final game and came home with the consolation trophy. So I was really proud of them for that. I think this year is going to be way different. I think we're going to have a ton of confidence going in. I think we're not going to be scared. I think we're going to be excited to play and get out there and prove to the rest of the state what Moorhead Spud hockey, girls hockey is all about.
Taylor, you got the last one. Just tell me, when you hear your name over the PA at the X next week, what's going to go through your mind?
I think I'm just going to be proud of. I'm just going to be so proud of this group and what it took to get us there. And I think it'll all be worth it. Everything that we've gone through this season, everything that we've put in the last few summers and the last few seasons is all going to be worth it because we're at the X.
I lied. Actually, I have one more. The tweet last night of everybody spinning with the trophy, was that a design deal? How'd that come about?
Well, we had girls, our 2 seniors, Olivia Drona and Bria Holm, did it 2 years ago. So me and Olivia thought we had to carry it over and continue the tradition.
So just you 2 did it last night?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Congratulations to both of you. Thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the day off, and we'll talk for you guys hit the X next week, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate you having us on.
Ryan Kraft and Taylor Cresson joining us from the Moorhead girls Spuds hockey team after their 6-1 win last night over Roseau, and they're off to the state hockey tournament. That'll begin next week at the X. The Class A tournament starts Wednesday, the Double A on Thursday. And Ryan brought up a great point that we talked about this when it went through from the State High School League signed off, that now all state tournaments, it's seeded 1 through 8. It's no more that 1 through 5 and then 3 random draws. We're done with that. So we'll find out on Saturday who the Spuds have their matchup for the opening round of the state hockey tournament. We're overdue. We'll take our final break. We come back. We'll wrap things up, get you ready for a busy Sports Thursday. Hot Mike will wrap right after this.